All right. Welcome. Hello, everybody. I am Alex, and we are going to take another look at the sandbox. Welcome back if you joined us last week. So, we've got a lot of cool new stuff to talk about, some exciting things happening this week, and let's take a quick look at the trailer I made, and we'll get this kicked off.
This is it, our one shot to get rich. The bank vault has been exposed by the demolition next door. Case the site, but be careful. There are plainclothes guards and they will mess you up. Figure out a way to the demolition site and get to the gold before it's locked away.
All right, so that's what I was working on. And, I forgot to have the chat up here. I can see in my monitor some people have been talking already, and I can't see what you said. So, welcome. I'm sorry if I didn't see what you said there. It's too small for me to read. So, if you said something or if you asked a question, please ask it again because I missed it there. It doesn't bring up the old chat log for me. So, let's take a look at what is new. Some cool stuff going on here. So, first thing, hi, Dan Boy. First thing is that the contest is ending soon. You've got 2 more days, Monday, March 30th, to enter the contest. I know some people have been confused about the prize money. So I've seen some people saying, "Oh, it's just in their in-game purchasing stuff." So that I think that's not understanding what Sand is. Sand is an Ethereum token, which means it's Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. So if you're the first place winner and you get that 12 by 12 estate and you get that 5,000 in sand, you can take that sand and convert it to Ethereum and sell the Ethereum for cash. It's really that simple. So, people are bothered by this part specifically, but it's really very easy to convert Ethereum to cash. You can do it in a couple minutes, as long as you have a crypto account set up. So, we've got something like over 60 entries right now, which is really cool. That everybody's getting that $50 consolation prize if they are not one of the first place winners, and right there. And that's 60 times 50. That's what, 300. $300 in prize money going out to people, and then there's still people submitting. So you've got 2 more days to make something cool and submit it here. That's a contest.sandbox.game/VoxEdit, and you can find links to that on Twitter and everything. Hi, Memetastic. Hi, Mystic Wolf. Welcome. And yeah, so there's that going on. So don't miss out on that. Big news. We just had Square Enix join, invest. Square Enix invested in the sandbox. And now we have Atari as a full partner. They are setting up Atari Land. That looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? Get some of my coffee there. So they are doing some pretty cool things here. They want to build versions of Centipede, Pong, Space Invaders. Oh, sorry, no, not Space Invaders. Asteroids, Super Breakout. I don't think that one was listed before. Super Breakout and Roller Coaster Tycoon, all into the sandbox. So they have. It's not here on the map. There's no map here, but there will be a Atari Land in the sandbox, and they are going to be putting sandbox versions of those games in the sandbox. So that's really exciting. Yeah, it does look and sound interesting. Yeah, they've got this awesome picture here. You can see they've got Roller Coaster and Roller Coaster Tycoon had other things besides roller coasters. You got your Ferris wheel. Maybe there will be mini arcade games and stuff going on. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff happening there. I'm excited to play that. Will there be a land for Square Enix? We don't know yet. Obviously, I think everybody at the Sandbox wants that. We need to. We'll see what Square Enix wants to do. So what they did is they invested $2 million in the Sandbox, which is a lot of money. And a large chunk of that was in the Sand token. So that's pretty cool. So if you have any doubts about whether Sand is a real thing or not, just know that Square Enix bought, I think it was like $0.24 million worth of it or something like that. I don't have the number in front of me. I think it was like 17% of $2 million. So it's like a lot. So hopefully we will get to see some Square Enix stuff in the Sandbox, but that's up to them and what they decide with the company. So next thing, we've got other partners going on. Here's our list of partners that are going to be part of the third land presale. MetaMask, Crypto Kaiju Figures, and DAP.com, and yeah, lots of cool stuff going on there. So if you know any of these brands, you'll be getting to see them putting stuff in. Yeah, would be interesting to have Square Enix in the Sandbox. I'm hopeful for that. I would love to see, I don't know about anybody else, but I would love to see the original Final Fantasy games in 3D, like third person running around Sandbox style. So that's our new partners. And speaking of the third land presale, we mentioned this last time, but it's Tuesday, March 31st, so the day after the contest ends. That's going to go live. This is the biggest land sale so far. So the first one, I think, was 2.5% of available lands for sale, because there's some that are reserved for Sandbox purposes. So of the not bright blue sections, the first sale was 2.5%. Then the second one, that was just this section here. And then this section here, just to the right of it, was 5% of the available for sale lands. And that was the second pre-sale. And then the third one is this huge thing here. That's a whole 10%. So there's going to be a lot. Is over 10,000 lands for sale. So exciting stuff. If you haven't had a chance, if these sold out too quickly for you, there's going to be a lot available in the next one, and a lot more estates also. Where's the Atari land? I think that's being announced next week. So keep an eye out on the Sandbox Twitter. I believe they want to mention that on Monday, but I'm not in charge of that. So just keep an eye out on the Sandbox Twitter. That's at the Sandbox Game. How many percent for Atari? How much percent of land? I think they got one or maybe several estates. I'm not sure what percentage it is, but there's still plenty of other land to go around. It's not like Atari's monopolizing the whole map. Yeah. So there's going to be more features in this pre-sale. They're improving the land coordinate system so you can share where your land is. And other new feature, the Sandbox Referral Program. This is something that will help you share the Sandbox with your friends. And if they sign up and buy land in the pre-sale, then you get a percentage of the profits from it. So let's say you have your account set up. They actually show in this little video here. You go to the gear in the upper right-hand corner of your account, and it shows your referral link. So you copy that and you tweet it, post it on Facebook, whatever you want to do. And if somebody goes to the Sandbox website through that link and signs up for an account and buys some land, you'll get 10% of the amount that they buy. So they still get all the land, but you get some of the money that went to pay for the land. So let's say somebody buys $100 worth of land, then you'll get $10 in whatever currency they use. So most people are using Ethereum right now. I think there's some other like DAI and other cryptocurrencies that are going to be accepted. So whatever cryptocurrency they buy in, you'll get 10% of that for 30 days after they use your referral link. So if somebody sets up their account with this current third presale, by the time the fourth presale comes along, that'll be more than a month later that they've set up their account. So you won't still get the 10% on the fourth presale. But the third presale right now is going to last 2 weeks. So for that whole 2-week period, if somebody uses your excuse me, tripping over my tongue here. If somebody uses your referral link, you'll get that 10% bonus from that. So that's pretty cool. An expansion pack for the Atari land. I mean, I guess they could always get more land and do more things with it. I don't know, how extensive their initial land setup is going to be. So, yeah, not sure about that, but we'll see. All right, so let's get the game maker fired up here. I probably should have had that running already. And feel free to ask questions about this stuff anytime. But now we're going to take a look at the sneak build. And I called it Sneak Thief to be funny. So we'll take a little run around and we'll see what sort of stuff we can do with it, because I think I left some room for improvements that we can kind of work on together. So if you have any suggestions of what you would like to see in this land, let me know, and we might be able to build them right now. All right, so let's do a quick tour. So if you watched the trailer, and if you missed the trailer, it will be on Twitter a little bit late after the stream, and I'll also be posting some screenshots. If you're on the Sandbox Discord, you can find it there also, and then at some point it will be up on the Sandbox YouTube, or you can watch the video on demand of this stream for when I played at the beginning. So this is where we started here in the trailer. So right now in the Game Maker, I'm a little bit limited on character assets. If you look at the humans, can I search humans? No, it won't show that. I can search by NPCs though. So I've only got 5 humans to work with right now. So I've got the Hermit, who is kind of our bad guy, in charge here, because you're kind of playing a bad guy. You're trying to rob a bank. So this is like your boss. I don't know why he's in rags. Maybe that's why he wants the gold out of the vault so much, because he needs some new clothes. And, okay, I see some questions here. When will the Game Maker be available for landowners? It should be early summer at the latest. That's maybe, that might be the full public release. So whenever it releases, it's going to go to the landowners first so they can start making stuff. But I'm not sure if the early summer release is for the landowners or if it's for everybody. But it's one of those. So at the very latest, you should be seeing that maybe like in May or June. And can we use Sand or Atari token for titles outside the sandbox? I mean, for Section 8 Prejudice. I would understand if you don't know this title. Okay. I remember a game called Section 8. Was that with you had like robot super suits or something like that? I think. I don't know if I played Section 8 Prejudice. I think I played Section 8. Which I remember being very short. Like, or at least as far as the storyline went. And it seemed cool because you were like a super robot. You could jump around and kind of fly and then smash down on your enemies. Am I remembering the right game here? I just remember if it's the game I'm thinking of, I got to the end of the story mode. And I probably played it a few years after it came out, so there was no multiplayer left. So I got to the end of the story and I wanted more. I was like, this is fun, this is cool. I unlocked these abilities and then the game was over. And I think the idea was that you would get to play the multiplayer after that, and I kind of missed the multiplayer train on that. So, like Fortnite. Okay, so I guess the Section 8 Prejudice is like Fortnite, because if I'm remembering Section 8 correctly, it came out way before Battle Royale stuff was getting popular. So using the sand tokens outside of the sandbox, I don't know if that will be possible. I know that the sandbox is interested in being part of this whole metaverse of different partners, and there being interoperability between the different partners, whether they're games or services and things like that. So I don't know if the other things will be accepting sand token directly, but there will probably be some sort of conversion available. So I mean, the sand can convert right to Ethereum, so a lot of our partners take Ethereum just as it is. I think CryptoKitties is one of our partners, so I don't know. I have to confess I don't know a lot about CryptoKitties, but I don't know if they have their own Ethereum token. But I would imagine you could convert sand into whatever they use. Whether you're able to use things in Section 8 Prejudice, I have no idea, but that's exciting possibilities. So that's something that we can look into. Maybe I'll ask around and see if I can figure that out for next week. So we'll take a look at that. All right, so we got our bad guy here, our bad guy boss, and then there's us, the avatar. And we just have like a quick little dialogue box with him. So we're going to take a look at the logic window here. And you can see that the behavior that's set is dialogue. So when we interact with him, it gives us text options. So for the sake of the trailer, I just put the "this is it." But I can put more in there. So if I do a comma, open quote, and say the vault is exposed, close quote. Current text index would say which one of these starts first, so we want to start it on "this is it." Close. So now I'm in first person. I need to fix that. Now when we talk to him, yeah, the first person kind of messes up the camera position here. Let's fix that first. I had one specific shot in the trailer that I wanted to do in first person, because you're kind of doing like an out of body. It was the punch in the middle of the trailer when one of the guards punches Max here. I had that set up, and you'll see that later. It was kind of funny the way I set it up. All right. Make sure these are all good. I think we can reset these. Actually, no, we do want those a little bit higher for the parkour elements. Okay. Close. Play. Whoa. My camera is way out there. The question outside was linked to an announcement from Atari of a AAA game with blockchain. AAA game. So I didn't see that particular announcement. They may have actually been referring to the Sandbox. Yeah, I can't speak to that specific comment because I haven't seen that particular bit of news. I reset the cam distance, and now we should be good. Okay. There we go. That works better. Okay, so he says the first thing, and then if we interact with him again, it goes away. And one more time, the vault is exposed. So that's how we can add in little bits of dialogue. At some point later, we should be able to select like options, kind of like RPG conversation chains. We could say like yes or no to taking a job. And we got some cars moving around here. So let's go take a look at the bank vault. So here's our bit of cover here. Right now, I do not have any sort of AI set up for these guards. They don't mess with me. Yeah, they know who's in charge. So for the trailer, it was just set up with just kind of hiding behind this bus. And if we take a look at the back alley, we can see where that punch came from. I've just got these looping animations here. So I recorded that in first person. And then I edited it together. Wow, I can't speak this morning. I just kind of split the screen in half so that way I could time the punch correctly in the video editor. But that's how I made that little bit of the trailer there. And then we go down in our hole here. And we can see this little bit of kind of Metal Gear Solid-esque little hiding from the moving guards section. And then we got our bank vault. You might recognize this as the bottom of the fountain here. I kind of I pulled a little George Lucas taking pieces that belonged to other things and putting together the set. Once the game maker is a little more matured, I'll be able to put in anything I make into it. So I can make a vault door. I can make piles of gold and cash. I can make little safety deposit boxes. So right now I'm just using all the preset items that are in the game maker. All of these. And we can see, let's go over here. You can see where I dug out to make the bank vault. So most of this is just the preset city template. So with the exception of the changes that I made underground and moving a couple characters around and putting some platforming stuff around here, this is just the template city. So you kind of have like a nice starting point with a lot of stuff to use if you want to get a quick start. And we can just erase all that. And you can see the inside of our vault, the basement of the bank, and the basement of the demolished building. Yeah. I'm actually going to undo that. Put everything back where it was. And if we take a look up here, this is where the parkour part of the trailer starts. You take a running jump off the roof to get up here. Climb up over these ladders, jump up the AC, and then you've got a moving elevator platform. So I can show you how that's set up. So this is actually this is a cement wall that I just embedded into the side of the building to give you a little ledge to walk across. But then this has a moving platform behavior. So I can set the move speed, how long it stays after it's moved, and the distance it's moving. So this moves up and down on the y-axis 6 meters. So it starts down here, goes up 6 meters, waits for 5 seconds, moves back down, and just loops. The look at destination isn't important for this one, but it is important for stuff like the bus. It means that the bus will flip around when it drives back the other way on the street. So right now, moving platforms have a pretty simple linear motion going from one side to the other. So I was thinking, if people want to do it, when did I put those water blocks there? Get rid of those. If people want to, we could extend the parkour elements, because I just started it up here. There's not actually a way to get up here right now. So I can kind of show you the process of getting onto the roof. We've still got half an hour, so I think we can make a little path here. Maybe start it. Should we start it behind the police station? That sounds dangerous. Where do you guys want to see the path go? We can go. We can be super risky and go up and over the police station. Or we could just go behind the police station and the bakery. Up and over the nightclub. Or maybe make something like a fire escape up this side. What do you guys think? I'm going to start putting some assets down here that we can use. We use some, I like using the street signs as moving platforms. Yo, yo, yo. Hi, Paul. How's it going? We're going to put some street signs for moving platforms. I'm just getting everything ready here. We can do some wooden fences. And we'll do some small concrete walls. All right, and we might go back to that wooden box. We'll see. All right, so since nobody's saying what they want to see, I am going to decide that we're going to build some platforming up the back of the nightclub here. Thanks, Paul. Are you just joining us now? Did you see the video earlier? I'll play it again at the end for anybody who missed it. So you got to stick around for the next 20 minutes. All right, so fastest way to flip these around is to type it in so you don't have to fiddle with it to get the angle just right. So I know I want these rotated 90 degrees on the y-axis. And everything's nice and color-coded. So you see everything for y here is in green, and we've got the green arrow and the green circle. You always wanted to be a game developer? Me too. This is really my first year of working on a game, like really working on game levels. I've been fiddling with making games for about 15 years and never like had the time or the drive to like fully commit. And now it's my full-time job, which is awesome. That's actually why that's actually why I'm really excited about the sandbox, because it's really super easy to build these levels. Everything is hands-on. You can see what you're doing. You got simple controls, and it's all already right there for you. So it'll get more complicated, especially with this logic section. You'll have a lot more options and customizations, and they'll start adding in the visual code editing. Lucky. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of hard work. I mean, it's not, no complaints. I have an awesome job working with this. But I'm still, putting in my 40 to 60 hours a week, working on this stuff. And there's parts, that aren't as interesting. Sometimes when I started as an artist for this stuff. So sometimes when you're designing an asset, there's some stuff that's pretty tedious. Like, so this brick building, I made this, and I had put in a whole bunch of detail to all these windows and stuff. And as we were working on it, we're like, this is way too detailed. It's not going to perform well in the game maker. So I had to spend so much time simplifying everything down. All these little window panes were like recessed in, and I had to make them all flat. So sometimes it can be really frustrating to, work on optimizations and things like that. But overall, this is a very fun thing to work with. And I think the actual game making part of this is really fast. That will give a lot of people the opportunity to just kind of play around and make a game, and they'll be able to do stuff that they didn't realize they could do before. So we're going to put some more platforms in here. I'm thinking you'll jump up on the dumpster and get onto here. Maybe make that a little bit smaller there. Actually, with this sticking out, I'll have to see. I don't know if it collides here or if it collides there, but we'll see. We'll give a little more. And we'll move this down and over here. And we should be able to make it onto the roof with just that. Let's give it a try. Try not to get hit by a car while we're at it. How should you get started? Oh, can't go that way. Well, if you're interested in the sandbox, if you're interested in getting started with the sandbox, there's a couple different ways you can get involved. There's the Creator Fund and the Game Maker Fund. So when I started, there was just the Creator Fund, and that was for voxel artists, which I'd been working on voxel art for a little bit over a year, I think, by the time I started with the sandbox. So that's if you want to design all these assets. So like I said, I made that building. I made the cars you see driving around, and the other members of the team made these other buildings. They made the characters, things like that. So we've got, I want to say 50 or so artists right now in the Creator Fund, and we are bringing more in. We've been accepting new applications, and that's a nice way to get started, at least making the graphics. If you're interested in making games, there's two different paths you can take. One is you can apply to the Game Maker Fund, which is, I don't remember the URL off the top of my head. It's something like, I don't want to say it and get it wrong, so I'll just take a look at this for the video on demand later after it's done, and I'll put the link in the description. So the Game Maker Fund it's a grant system. So you pitch a game that you're interested in making. So you think of like what kind of game you're interested in. So like this game, I would call this game a combination of like Grand Theft Auto and Mirror's Edge, sort of. not quite that cinematic, but that's too tall. We're not gonna make that jump. Oh, yeah, we can fudge it a little bit. I don't think we can get up there though. No, it's too high. So, think of games that you would be interested in making. Kind of make a list of those. You would also want to. Can you apply without any experience? You can apply without any experience. Your application would look better with experience, but it also it depends on what you're applying for. So, the Creator Fund, you need a portfolio for that. We have a lot of people who apply without sending any images of artwork they can do, and we can't accept them like that because we don't know what kind of artwork people can make. So you do need some sort of portfolio, whether you attach some images or send a link to your ArtStation or DeviantArt or Instagram or whatever. We've accepted people using all those sites. So you do need some sort of experience with that. We have accepted some people who have focused more on pixel art or regular mesh 3D graphics, but they show that they can do voxel art because everything in this game is made with voxel art. So you do need to be able to show that you can take whatever artistic skills you have and put them into voxel art. There's some amount of like directing and training that we can do, but if somebody has no experience making voxel art or hasn't shown that they can do voxel art, they're not very likely to get accepted into the creator fund, just because they're not showing that they can make what we're making. For the Game Maker Fund, the application doesn't ask for experience, really. I don't think it does, at least. What the Game Maker Fund asks for is a pitch. So when you make your pitch, you're going to demonstrate through your pitch that you can think about the way a game would be made. You have to think about what style you're looking for, what kind of gameplay there's going to be, how characters are going to interact with things. Is it first person, third person? There's a lot of things in that application, and I'm not in charge of judging those applications, so I can't speak for everything that they're looking for. But I know that through the application, you demonstrate that you can think like a game developer, and you can think logically, how are you going to move a player from one spot to the next? And it's a whole process. So that's your initial pitch. If they like your pitch, then you start working on a design document, which is a more in-depth look at how everything's put together. And from that, they'll really be able to assess RPG. Yeah, you got to make that Final Fantasy remake in the Sandbox. And we do want to put RPG elements in. So Sandbox's goal is to have any style game in it. So you could do a racing game, you could do an RPG, you could do a fighter. We want to have everything in there. So, pitch what you're interested in making. Pitch what you think you can make. Like I said, I had 15 years kind of fiddling around, but never actually made a game. But that wasn't part of the application to assess that, I had used a little bit of Game Maker even back before it was Game Maker Studio, and I'd used a little bit of RPG Maker, but never actually released anything with it. So what they were looking for was being able to kind of think through the process. Did I answer the whole question? Can you apply without any experience? Yeah, I would say, it's if you enjoy games and you can think really logically about the way a game would be put together, you can probably apply with some confidence. The Game Maker is really easy to use. Honestly, like if you've ever used any sort of 3D editing, then you'll be familiar with the gimbal tool here, moving stuff around, rotating it, kind of doing crazy stuff. And then the rest of it's just really logical, like, this building, is it going to have like a dialogue box when you like try to interact with it? It would say like the store is closed or something. Is the car going to be moving around as a moving platform? So it's just kind of like putting the pieces together. And I think the Game Maker is pretty easy to learn for anybody who's used any sort of creative program, whether it's, Photoshop or Blender or anything like that. I'm losing my voice here today. So the Game Maker Fund is one way to get involved. The other way is, somebody mentioned earlier, when our landowner is going to get the Game Maker. So if you buy land, you will get first access to the Game Maker after it's released. It's not a full release. It's getting released to the landowners first, is the way I should have said that. So I think the land pre-sale price, did I close my browser window? I did close my browser window. It's under $50. I want to say it's like $43 to buy a land, and this is the size of one land. So this is a lot of space to work with. If you saw my stream last week, I did the game Hopper, so you can get a sense of how big this is. If you say that this is the bottom, the top is like way up here. So it's a lot of space to work with, especially if you're building vertically. So landowners will get the chance to work in the game maker, and that's all you need. If you invest the $50 or less than $50, depending on which pre-sale you're buying on, you get to make whatever you want with it. There's no application needed for that. You have your land and you'll be able to build on it. So it's really low threshold for entry there. Like anybody can do it, no matter what their skill level is. And then when we've got the great community on Discord who, once they all get their hands on the game maker, we're going to have 20 wizards on there who'll be able to tell you whatever you need to know. So there's going to be a lot of people around to help out. All right, let's finish building this platformer here. How much time we got? We still got 15 minutes. So let's see about building a little ramp. Now, right now, collision with ramps is a little funny. You can go up them, but if you just try walking forwards, you'll kind of walk through it a little bit. So you kind of have to hop up. But it does work. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. You kind of get a little bit of hang time on the edges here. Now, again, this is, I always remind people of this. This is early alpha, so there's still a lot of little things to work out. So you see if I hit jump, I kind of glide right up. And then I sort of slide down. Will there be an SDK? Oh, there's actually more. Oop, 2 long comments at the same time. So yeah, is this a game on land or just a demo? This is just a demo, so this is not on a live parcel of land. I could publish it to a land. Oh, I didn't mean to hit edit. And I have to go back. I could publish to a land at any time after that ability is added in. So right now, the game maker is not connected to the land system. This is just built locally on my computer. And it saves as a single file and a screenshot. So this whole level is like probably like 10 megabyte file, because all of the assets. Oh, I can't jump right here. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. All of the assets are part of the Sandbox Marketplace system. So these download from the cloud when you and they get cached, so you don't have to download them again later. But you could send this file to somebody else with a game maker. They would open it up. It would download and cache all of the assets, and they would be able to play your level also. So you do have the ability to send these as files. I don't know if that will still be around once the marketplace or once the land system goes live. We'll see. But I think if you want to work with like a team of people, it would be cool to be able to share a land around. There's also the plan for multiplayer editing. That's nowhere near being ready yet, but let's see. I need a taller. I'm just gonna build some terrain up in here. So yeah, I think that answered your question. This is not a live land, but it could be. And then this is the size of the land, of one land. So if you have an estate, it'll be bigger. Can you see a game in action? Well, this is one of them. We'll finish up this platform, and then I'll open up one of the other ones and can show you that. We'll open up the fungus game, which is the first one that I did. All right, I think that should do the trick. Let's try that now. All right, somebody else had a question. Jerry says, will there be an SDK in the future? I think it'll be powerful for creators to have full control on how their game works if they have the skill set to program custom actions. So I don't know about an SDK, but there's going to be visual scripting built into it, and there will be more advanced... Oh, it freaked out for a second there. There will be visual scripting, and you'll be able to do much more advanced things within the Game Maker. So the Game Maker is built on Unity, and exactly how much you'll be able to use of your Unity knowledge, whether there's going to be like C# programming or plugins and stuff like that. I don't know how advanced it's going to get in that regard, but the developers do want to give as much power as possible to the people making the lands to really make a cool game. So we'll see a lot more features in the future. All right, let's see if I can get this platform to work, because the other thing with moving platforms is you kind of have to jump on them right now. Physics are a little wonky, but if I time it right... Yeah, no, I fell through. It took me like 3 takes in recording the trailer to get that jump right. Which is funny, I didn't have as much problems with these platforms when I was making Hopper last week, but there we go. All right, so we can see we're back behind our guards here, and we can work our way down on top of this AC. All right, no fall damage yet, but that would be a part of this game, would be fall damage. You have to find a safe way to get down. All right, and now we're back in the vault. Ta-da! All right, so somebody wanted to see, Timothy wanted to see more games here. So we're going to save. We're going to go back to the main menu. All right, so these are the 4 templates right now. We're working on more templates, so there will be more starting places for you to create from. And let's open up the fungus game, because that one's just fun. So this was sort of my first experiment in the Game Maker. I realized before I made this, I knew that you could turn physics on for an object, like ragdoll physics, kind of. Will the game be free to play? So the platform is free. The Sandbox Game Maker and VoxEdit, which is the tool for making the graphics, and the ability to play in this game is all free. The difference that you'll see is that creators can monetize in different ways. So say I don't know what Atari's plans are, but I'm just going to use Atari as an example because they have a long history of making arcade games. So they might make entry into their land free. And this is just hypothetical, so I'm not promising anything. They might make entry into their land free, and then you could play games within their land for 1 sand token or whatever the price would be. So they could monetize sections of their land as gameplay elements. You could have let's say Square Enix wants to put Final Fantasy 3, which is the one that wasn't released in the US, and then they remade it in 3D for the Nintendo DS. Let's say they wanted to recreate that in the sandbox, and they wanted to charge $30 for it. They could do that. They could say, hey, if you want to go onto our Final Fantasy 3 land, you have to pay a fee up front. And it could be a one-time fee. Going back to Atari, let's say they wanted the arcade games to be free for however many times you want to play them, but you have to pay a daily entry fee into the land. Let's say it's like 5 sand tokens to enter the theme park, and then you can play as many games as you want for the whole day. They could do that. You could also have will you be able to cash out? Yes, definitely. So I'm not very familiar with cryptocurrency either. The Sandbox is really my first venture out into the cryptocurrency world. The Sand token is it's Ethereum. So Ethereum is like Bitcoin. It's a blockchain-based cryptocurrency. I think all cryptocurrencies are blockchain-based, but don't hold me to that. That might just be me being a noob. But Ethereum has this thing where you can create tokens. So Sand is an Ethereum token. It is the value of Ethereum, but it's kind of like it's a branded token of it. So Sand, if you earn Sand through the marketplace by selling your assets, if you earn Sand by monetizing your game, you can earn Sand. Somebody could commission you to develop a game on their land. So we have some people who own extensive amounts of land, but they're not necessarily a developer. So they bought like all this real estate and they want to hire people to create things for the land. They would be like a landlord sort of. A developer could make a game like this, and they could be paid in Sand. There's all sorts of ways that people would be able to make for esports. So we've also been talking about we need to figure out. Well, I don't really have to figure out, but what the other staff members have to figure out is how to kind of regulate that stuff, because we do have to be careful. In the gambling area, like in the United States, it's illegal for children to gamble. So we do have to be careful that things are like a game of skill. So like you could win a prize for a racing tournament, but you can't necessarily bet on the races. When there's different ways that can work out. So simple games with simple rules for everyone. Yeah, I mean, we do want to keep things simple, but there's a lot of possibilities. So we're open to a lot of different ideas. So once people earn that Sand, you can take that to Coinbase is the exchange that I'm familiar with. There's other exchanges also where you can convert your cryptocurrency into cash. So you can take your Sand token and you can turn it into Ethereum and cash it out. So yeah, I think there was a question back here I missed. Free to play. Oh, no, I just wasn't finished answering that. So another way you can monetize is you could sell items. So all of the assets in the Sandbox are NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens, meaning that each, maybe not with the ones that come with the game maker, but if you buy an asset on the marketplace, so like in each pre-sale round, we've had different assets available. In the second pre-sale, I had a fountain for sale, not this one. It was a sand coin fountain, actually. Yeah, prizes in crypto. You could have a racing tournament where the prize would be a crypto prize. or a sand token prize. So the NFT that I had in the last pre-sale, if somebody buys that and they put it on their land, they could also potentially create a store. Let's say they buy 10 fountains. They could create a store where they sell those 10 fountains. But because they're non-fungible tokens, they each have a unique ID. Hi, Jodish. I hope I'm saying that right. So because they each have a unique ID, there is a limited quantity of them. So somebody buys a sand fountain and then they're down to 9. Somebody buys another, they're down to 8. So you could have your whole game be free, and you could sell, say, like T-shirts for avatars that say, like, I played this game and all I got was this dumb T-shirt or something like that. So there's a lot of possibilities. So we're actually pretty much out of time, but I did promise to show you one more game. So when I first started messing with the game maker, I saw a weird like physics setting, and you can see I didn't quite set it up right there, but this is Fungus Among Us, and you're an alien mushroom that just wants to wreak havoc on the city. So you can do that. You can see that fit objects interact with other objects. You can see the fence getting smashed here by the town hall. You can bump into buildings that will move other buildings. You can't get VoxEdit. You're having issues with the download, or what's up, Jodish? What's wrong? Why can't you get VoxEdit? And so this was just my fun little demo for the first thing that I made. I did find that things do have centers of gravity, so I wasn't able to make the street lights with physics because they would just fall over on their side. You're unable to download it, so the download for VoxEdit is on the main Sandbox website. So if you go to game.sandbox.com, there's a tab on the left side of the site called Create. You go to that, and that will give you the you don't know what to do once you download it. You in PC or Mac or Linux? If you're in Linux, I can't really help you because I know virtually nothing about Linux, unfortunately. It's one of my weak spots. We'll just wreak havoc on here. And when we're done with this, I'll show that trailer one more time because I know some of you missed it at the beginning there. On Windows. So Windows, there's a couple things that might happen on Windows. So it's a zip file, just a regular ZIP. So you want to unzip it and put it in whatever folder you want it to be in. So for me, I put it in a Dropbox folder, so I have a backup in case something happens. And then once you've got it in there, there's two issues you might run into. One I've never had happen before. Antivirus could flag it as an unrecognized program. This website takes so long to load. It's a little bit slower because there's a lot of stuff going on it, but it doesn't usually load too slow for me. My guess is possibly it's eating up a lot of RAM for you. I know that if you look at the map, especially during the last pre-sale, there were a lot of issues with running out of VRAM, video RAM, for the map. But on the main pages, it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, it's downloading. Well, that's good. VoxEdit and the Game Maker, I wouldn't really recommend having less than 4 gigabytes of RAM. You definitely want more than that. And if you're able to access your Java settings, make sure to allocate enough RAM to where it's not running out. And I got stuck inside the house. I'm a house now. There we go. Got out of there. Oh, that was cool. Did a little twisty trick there. So yeah, I would make sure you have at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. I think I have. Do I have 8 or 16? I don't remember. I think I have 16. But I do like a lot of video editing and stuff like that, so I need as much RAM as I can get. I think if you have 8, you should be good. If you have 6 or 8, you should be fine. So once you've unzipped the download and put it in whatever folder you're gonna use, on Windows there's an install.bat script you can run, but you don't have to. All it does is it adds the VoxEdit icon for the files, so you can see the VoxEdit icon when you see a file in a folder. So it's not really super important because you're 13. Well, if you're 13, you should definitely make sure it's cool with your parents that you are downloading programs. I know that when I was 13, I downloaded stuff and I got into trouble all the time. I never caused any like super bad virus problems, but my dad would always get mad at me for downloading stuff without asking. So yeah, definitely make sure it's cool with your parents. I think if you show them that it's, cool creative stuff where you'll get to make artwork, maybe your parents would be cool with it, but they can probably. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Well, if the issue you're probably going to find is when you go to run VoxEdit the first time, Windows Defender will say, "Hey, this is an unrecognized program," and at first it'll just show you a don't run or like a exit kind of button. But there's another button on there that some people miss, and it says more info. And if you click more info, it'll just kind of tell you what the risks are. And there will be another button that appears that says run anyway. And you want to click the run anyway button, because I've been using VoxEdit for over a year now, and I've never had any issues with viruses or anything. This is made by PreSale, which is a reputable company. So yeah, you click that more info and run anyway, and then you should be all set. If you have more issues after that, I would say go to, if your mom lets you use Discord, you can go to our Discord server, and that will, I'm on there, and there's a lot of other people there who have been using VoxEdit for a while, and they can help you troubleshoot any problems. And if it's like a glitch or something that we can't get around, I'm in contact all the time with the quality assurance people and the developer, so we can try to fix any problems like that. Somebody else said something. What was that? Jerry said, "Will we be able to have a hoverboard if not built into the game maker? Will we have an option to create our own API and store it in our own database to be shown back when someone plays our game?" So let me hydrate. You should be able to make something like a hoverboard within the game maker. So what I can do right now, if I go to the logic settings, thank you, Jodish. I put a lot of work into the videos. It's not always easy, but I do enjoy it. So let's just say, for avatar settings, you can set things like the gravity factor. So you could make it so there's like a lower gravity setting where you kind of glide along. You could even, it really depends on how you want to implement. Oh, leaderboard or hoverboard? Oh, thank you. Yeah, you could probably do both. Thank you, Preston. I had a little dyslexic moment, and my view of the chat, the word "have" is right above leaderboard, and I moved the H down and made it hoverboard for some reason. Thank you for catching that. So leaderboard systems are not implemented yet, but they will be. Because right now we're looking at Atari coming in, and I can't imagine an Atari land that doesn't have a leaderboard. And maybe they don't want to do that, I don't know. But we definitely do want to have things like leaderboards. So you'll be able to do variables and triggers and leaderboards and customizations and all sorts of stuff. So this is a very early alpha build, but there's a lot more cool stuff coming. So any more last minute questions before I show the trailer again? All right. Well, you go ahead and ask questions if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer one more time for those of you who missed it. You get to listen to my cheesy voiceover again.
This is it. Our one shot to get rich. The bank vault has been exposed by the demolition next door. Case the site, but be careful. There are plainclothes guards and they will mess you up. Figure out a way to the demolition site and get to the gold before it's locked away.
All right, so that was the trailer that I showed at the beginning, and we ran around that world for a little bit, added some new stuff. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. You've done some coding before. That's great, Jodish. I wish that I had gotten more into coding when I was your age. I had started playing around with Game Maker and RPG Maker, and I still mess around with those. I think if I had talked to my parents more about what I was interested in when I was a kid, I probably would have started a lot longer ago and been a lot further along in this career. But I'm definitely happy to be working on what I am now, and I hope that you get the opportunity to work on some really cool game stuff. So definitely keep going with that. And let's see, who else said some stuff. How do I make cryptos with this? So I'm not entirely sure I understand the question. You're looking to make cryptocurrency with it. We talked about that a while, for a while, a few minutes ago. So I was just you're on Facebook. So if you check out my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/shop Voxel Fox, I believe. Or you might be able to find it on the Sandbox page also, or you can check it out on Twitch and YouTube. Rewatch this, and probably about like 45 minutes in or so is when we start really talking about the crypto stuff. There's lots of different ways to monetize in the Sandbox, whether you're an artist putting stuff on the marketplace, or if you're a game creator and you can monetize the games you make in different ways. So there's a lot of possibilities. All right. Thank you, everybody else. I'll get a free copy of game. I will look forward to that, Jodish. Message me on Twitter or whatever when you're done with it, and I'd be happy to play it. So, thank you everybody for watching. I will see you again next week, same time, and have a good weekend. Everybody stay safe and healthy. All right.